taking the LIRR back into Manhattan, like an evening route, 6:35 p.m. train going from Ronkonkoma to New York Penn. I think we'll be starting it off here in Hicksville. Hopefully everybody's doing well. If you missed the stream the other day when we were playing Car Sim, Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, let's get it started here. If you'd missed it, we did the Christmas DLC. Some people waited till Christmas, but I did it a little bit before Christmas, so. Hopefully, I think LIRR tends to work well. One time, I don't know if you noticed or if you saw the stream, we got stuck in traffic doing the Harlem line run from White Plains into the city. There was a bunch of like train backups. It was weird. Don't really know why that happened, but sometimes the game does what it wants to do. So we'll get started here in a second. Okay, alright, so we are here. We must turn this key. Now let's open the doors. Do I want to do all this stuff on? Let's do Dead Man Cut In. I don't know if I really want to run ATC because I feel like it's going to get us in later than we should. Set this to neutral. Set this down to max brake. Charge the brakes. Set the lights to bright. Turn off the marker lights. I like to put my cab light on so people know we're in for business. Okay, close that door. Okay, let's go to forward. Horn's good. I'm going to close the door a little bit early so that we can get moving on time. Everything looks good. Door closing. A little bit more dust light. And let's roll. So if I remember correctly, we're pretty good coming out of Hicksville. That's where the 12-unit train will stop. I don't think there's an option for a 12-unit train. Okay, 3 miles. To 80, the game usually waits for the last car to go by. See, and one of the issues that I have with it is the game waits for the last car to go by for you to get your speed increase. But the first car, when you have to come down for a decrease, as soon as the first car goes by, like, you get the decrease. So I don't understand why the trigger is on the different points there. I don't know, I haven't really popped into any of the dev streams to even question or ask for it. But one of the things I was just talking about was this stop in location button, and they actually changed that recently, so I was happy about that. we're gonna try to stay on time. Okay. We'll start braking now. Yeah, it's funny, this used to be in yards and they put it into feet. I'm not sure what I prefer. Alright, so hopefully we get into here on time. Try not to lose too much speed too early. Try to do more of a gradual stop here. That was just ETC warning. Actually, that was the alerter. Flatten this out a little bit so we don't get too slow too early. Right, trying to coast in here, we have a minute to go. Alright, we can see the platform ahead. Now, oddly, I mean, there are different services, but on the Metro North, they want you to actually blow the horn before you come into stations here. But I don't know if they want you on the LIRR, and the training on this didn't actually require it. And that's why I knew for sure about the Metro North situation. Alright, I hope everybody's doing well today. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. If you'd like to see some more or less archived things that aren't still on video on demand, I started to create and move a lot of those over to YouTube. So over here on Twitch, they do eventually delete them. If you're a regular streamer like I am. Door's locked. Release some of the brake pressure. And let's go. I have to put it into 4. Next one is Carl Place, which is pretty close here. Occasionally you'll hear some things clicking. That's just me hitting the alerter so before it comes on. That's just a way to let the train know that you're still paying attention. This next stop's going to be a little close because we left the station a few seconds late. Eventually we should be able to make up some time in the middle of the map. Here we have some water towers to our right. Oop, and we are going full stop here. I think I blew it. Yep, I blew it. I don't want to go emergency, so we'll just let it get to what it gets to. Come on. We're gonna get the end of the platform. Actually, that's not close to the 12 unit. We're off, but we have 10 cars. It's not that bad. I thought it was gonna be much worse. It worked out pretty well. Let's wake up our Nightbot buddy. Hello, Nightbot. How are thou? How art thou? Doors locked. Brake pressure released. Let's move. Mineola's next. Surprisingly, we have about 3 minutes to get here, and it's not that far. It's only about 2 miles away. So I'm just gonna let it coast in here a bit. LIRR. We hit about 5,000 feet. I'll add a little bit of braking. Hey, thank you, Nightbot, for welcoming everybody to the stream today. Okay, we're pulling into Mineola. Mineola's a pretty interesting city. It's a little sprawling, in my opinion. You know, you think you have like a little central area, it's actually pretty like spread out. We're going to be a few seconds behind, unfortunately. It's full. Excellent. Alright, that should get us on time for that one. Closed. Brakes release. Doors locked. And back up to 4. Okay, next stop's actually really close. And again, they're giving us a good amount of time to get there. If we don't get too much wheel slip, should be good. Clear day. Excellent. Actually pretty close. I guess in this direction, there's probably not that many trains. And to be honest, I don't remember seeing a train going in the other direction yet. My watch is telling me it needs to be recharged. Alright, so still just gonna keep the speed in here. And let's start braking. I'm actually going to post a picture of the Forest Hills train station on the Discord. It's actually a very old station, and it still has essentially like most of the original features. It's a brick station, old style, has a lot of the old signage as well. But I was there a few weeks ago and I took a few pictures. I meant to post them, but I haven't yet. But they'll be on the Discord probably by this weekend, for sure. Alright, stopping here at Maryland. Doors open. Okay, just taking the train into Manhattan here. Just a nice little commuter run to end the day. Okay, we're actually early for this one, which is perfect. I'm gonna close the doors a little bit early. I like to do that to stay on time. Okay, New Hyde Park is next. I wonder how many people are actually familiar with this run in real life. So we're just continuing along here. This one has many stops, so taking our time, we're heading into Penn Station. Eventually they're gonna add on an additional thing where the LIRR can actually go all the way to Grand Central. I think they're working on it. They actually were supposed to be done with it, and I remember hearing on the news the other day that there was some issues with the tunnel, and so it's not going to open next month like they were hoping. It'll take a little bit longer to open. Alright, we're going to go full brake. I'm still adjusting to the change from yards to feet. As far as when my braking zones are, so there's nobody. Okay, there's some people here coming into Manhattan. About to say we are on time. Yeah, one of the keys to staying on time in this game is to close the doors a little bit early. That is our warning system, just checking to make sure we're still paying attention. Right at the 10 unit line. Perfect. They won't give us a 500, but it's fine. One of the cool things about a lot of these is their level crossings. So you actually get to see the train go by you while you're on the road. Okay. Alright, so we have a little bit of time here in the station. Again, I'm going to close the doors a little bit early and continue to move. So I usually go about 10 seconds. Doors closed. And this allows us to kind of stay on time. Alright, next stop is Jamaica. Jamaica slows us down a little bit, so we just have to be a little bit mindful of that. As we come into Jamaica Station, I think we have to come all the way down to about 15. So, looks like the weather's changing on us too. It's getting a little hazy in front of us. As you see here, we are on an island, so the weather does change a lot. Another water tower. Alright, yes, we're still paying attention. Okay, we're gonna have to come down to 60 here. Typically when we have to come down to 60, it's because we're changing tracks. So I'm just gonna go out on the power, let it coast, so that way we don't have to use too much braking energy to come back down. This part also is a little tricky as far as staying on schedule as we head in, but we should be okay. Alright, so we're down to 56. Passing the station here. A little bit of power just because I want to keep it closer to 60. Okay. So usually when we have a 60 restricted, I've found is usually we're going to do a track change. So I have a feeling they're going to push us to the middle tracks probably here in a second. Which is fine. We're moving it along pretty nicely here. Okay, now we're gonna get bumped up to 90, and we're gonna gladly accept that once it comes. Alright, there's our notice of 60, yep, and we do have a track change, which is why that 60 came up. Excellent. And then we are cleared to 80. There we go. Just waiting for the ATC to give us the clearance. If not, they would have penalized us going too fast. Alright, so we're essentially on the express track now. Another train coming here up on our left. Well, that one looks like it's just parked. I'm going too fast, sorry. Nope. That's what I get for enjoying the sights too much. Oh, they're gonna penalize me. Come on, free me up. You can do it. That was my fault, I was going too fast. I went past the amount by a little bit. So we have to come to a complete stop, reset. I felt I came down off the overspeed quick enough, but I didn't. So now you know, if you're on one of these trains and all of a sudden it stops suddenly, the operator may have been going too fast. Oh, you have to pull out brake. Back up, charge the brake. Okay, we gotta go to max brakes. Charge. It's gonna make us a little bit behind, probably. Good to go. Now we can unbrake and move along long. Sorry about that, folks. I got a little bit too excited looking at that other train because I hadn't seen many of them so far in this run. Getting a lot of fog here coming in. We're cruising. There's a train passing us. Hopefully that doesn't interfere with us getting into Jamaica easily, because we're supposed to be ahead of them. Okay, that's what it is. We gotta come down to 35, and then I think it's 15 after that to get into Jamaica. We'll take care of that when it comes. That's typically why they recommend staying at about 5 away from your top speed. So get yourself a little bit of wiggle room there. Here's another train coming in, going back into Long Island. So it looks like it wants to rain, but it hasn't. Alright, gotta start coming down so we can hit this 35. So we don't derail or anything crazy coming into Jamaica. For a little bit more braking force. Okay, I think we're okay. Just gonna hit that just in case. I think we've come in on that track to the left there before. I think when we're going to like Brooklyn, I think it sends us that way sometimes. Is there a car over there? Oh no, that's just track lights. Huh. So we're 3 minutes out even with our stop, but we are still good on time. What was I thinking that we were going where there was like a downhill into it? Maybe it's coming to Jamaica from the other end that I was thinking about. Alright, let's slow down a little bit more here. Get ourselves down to 35. Very good. Beautiful. Unfortunately, if we didn't have that little bit of a... Oh no, it wasn't Jamaica then that I was thinking about. Which station is it then? And here comes 15. Let's slow it down a little bit more. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be a little late on Jamaica now, given the circumstances. I do have to say I do enjoy the dynamic weather. I think it adds a little bit more of an interesting aspect to the game. So it looks like this train on the left is going to wait for us to go in, which is good. Because I was wondering if we were going to be fighting with it to get in here. So that symbol's letting us know that our speed's dropping. They're probably going to give us another one, but we should be okay. Okay, good. So we're at 14 now. Alright, I'm just going to let it kind of coast a bit. We're down to 12. We know that 15 is the restriction. Alright, yeah, I think that little stop that we had kind of just set us back a few seconds here. This should be pretty minor. It was my fault though. I was speeding. Thank you. So I think from Jamaica you can transfer to the air train that goes to the airport. And I think that you might also be able to take the subway, if I remember correctly. I never know on this one because it's a double platform if we're supposed to open both doors, but I like to do it sometimes. I don't think you're supposed to, but I don't mind it. Okay, let's continue. Next stop is Kew Gardens, which I think is a Kew Gardens interchange that I've driven on before. Okay, things are moving pretty well. We're gonna have a restriction of 14 getting out of here, or 15, and then we're gonna get cleared to 35. So I have to wait for these things to pass. Good so far. And I'm gonna get up to 80. I feel like there's a restriction coming around this corner though that I got caught up on before. Because it would be nice to just go flat out from here. Stop at Kew Gardens next. Moving through. Gonna go to Kew Gardens next. I think we're doing alright on time so far. That's just reminding us that we have to let the train know that we're still driving it. It's gonna come back a little bit, which is gonna affect our momentum because we're going uphill. But it will help us maintain a little bit here. Alright, looking at 4,000 feet. Kew Gardens is next. Alright, so the next one we're going to get opened up to 80. I think after Kew Gardens is Forest Hills. And then after Forest Hills, I think we're just going right to Manhattan if I remember correctly. One thing I've noticed is the game has been stuttering a little bit more since the updates. Forest Hills is next, and as I mentioned, I will be posting some Forest Hills station photos on the Discord. It's actually a really nice station. Actually, I think there's one more main stop before or after Forest Hills. I just don't remember which one it is. It's actually pretty interesting, all the neighborhoods that this thing passes through, but it doesn't stop it. Yeah, so Forest Hill Station looks a little bit like this. The only difference is that the brick and things are much darker, so it's like a browner color. But I took some pictures from the opposite platform, and then you can see kind of the mixes of architecture and style and bricks. But yeah, this is fairly accurate. Again, it's just a little, the brick colors are a little bit browner. That's the main difference. And then right over this way is Austin Street. And those houses that were there are not actually there. That's the other difference there. Okay, next stop is Woodside. Yeah, I think there was one more before we get to Manhattan. Alright, we're on time. We're almost done. We're going to try to make up some lost time here on our way to Woodside. And hopefully everything balances out completely at the end. Alright, just keep in mind, most of your 60s are going to be track changes, so just keep that in mind. Usually if you see that there's going to be a decrease coming up, it's usually going to be something that was requiring a track change. Alright, we're going to keep it at 75. Alright, just hit the alerter just in case we're coming down because we have to get below 60 coming up. 2 minutes to go. We already start to see the stations coming up. And then, like I said, I think after Woodside we could head straight into Manhattan. Hopefully there's no backup there, because that's usually been what like kind of zonks the game lately. So when you start to go towards Manhattan in most of these maps, you just can't get anywhere. Alright, just alerting again. Alright, we're gonna have to come down to 45 here as well. Here is Woodside. So Woodside, I know you can actually catch the subway, which this little overpass that we're going to see here is leading to the subway, if my memory serves me correctly. Get ready to stop. Yep, there's the passway to the subway above us. And I think from Woodside we just head straight to Manhattan now, so we'll take a look in a second. Alright, that's just the alerter. Alright, we're a minute behind. Okay, doors open. There's a lot of tracks here. There's a sunny side and there's a wood side here in Queens. Alright, on to New York Penn. So coming out of the station, we're going to get hit with a 45-mile-an-hour restriction, probably because of this turn. It's a pretty large curve here. And we're going to be heading through Queens into Long Island City, and then into the East River Tunnel, which will bring us into Penn Station. I do know that there is some work on getting the trains. I believe to Grand Central is supposed to open up pretty soon. Alright, so we'll wrap this up pretty soon. Alright, 45 is our restriction for now. We're going downhill, so we will leave it there and allow this to come in. Stop it. They're gonna ding us for going slightly over there. Okay, 40 on a track change to 30. I forgot about this part. We'll bring it down as we finish this track change. And we'll continue. There we go. Release the pressure. Alright, so once we get to New York Penn, we will be finishing this run today. We'll be going to have dinner. So now we're passing through Long Island City. And we're passing through a yard that's actually shared with the Amtrak trains. Where if you ever did the old Northeast corridor that went from Jersey to New Rochelle, this is one of the yards that we used in one of the scenarios to watch the train. So passing through Long Island City here, we are going downhill as we are entering the tunnel here. I don't know how accurate some of those buildings are anymore. Okay, we're looking at a 1. Oop, let's add some braking. Because we're going downhill. And essentially with these tunnels is down, then a little level point in the middle, and then up again. So just make sure you're monitoring your speed. We're going to come down to 15 in 2.3 miles. 5 minutes we have until we're supposed to be there, but I think we'll be good today. Getting some tunnel sounds here. Alright, so what happens is eventually it's going to shift from downhill to uphill, and that's where we'll get most of our speed to bleed off from. As you can see, it's starting to ease up on the downhill, and now we're going uphill. So what I'm going to do is just take the braking out and then let the train just kind of coast. I was about to say plane because I've been playing a lot of plane sim, flight sim. So we are almost done. Alright, so as you can see, it kind of creates a natural slowdown here because we're going uphill. So what you have to make sure you don't do is lose your power too much. Clear that one. So we're almost done. Here we go. Now the tough part here is going to be getting us in here on time now because we're going so slow. Some runoff track in the back of the station. Coming in here to New York Penn Station. actually were able to finish a run today. This map usually doesn't give us too much trouble. Okay, we are all done. Thank you anyone who stopped by and hung out and watched today. Hope that you have a great weekend. Let's see how we did. Excellent. So that is where we will wrap things up today. Okay, excellent. Alright everyone, enjoy the rest of your